Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's just another day in the life as a military wife, and I am continuing on with this month's theme of celebrating military spouses because it is Military Spouse Appreciation Month, in my opinion, or at least Military Spouse Appreciation Day is in May. And we are going to be talking this week with Elaine Martens, who I had the pleasure of meeting at Roots Tech. And she's going to share with us how she uses family history as an anchor and to build her support system as a military spouse who is also a homeschooling mother. So let's jump right into that conversation. I'm your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife. All right, Elaine, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to all of my people who are
Sure.
watching?
So my husband's been in the Air Force for almost 20 years, not quite, and I've traveled all over the American South with him. We haven't done long-term duty. We've mostly been based out of Texas and another state. So I've been able to do my family history in all these different states, visit different cemeteries, photograph ancestor graves. Anyway, I've got 3 kids and 3 dogs. Now I have 3 dogs, and I homeschool them. The kids, not the dogs, although one of them needs training. He needs some training. But anyway, yeah, that's basically it. I homeschool and do lots of genealogy in my spare time.
That's so amazing. So we met at Roots Tech. I've been into family history. I'm in a family that's been into family history since like family history was a thing, but I got into it more in college, and I have done off and on family history consulting at different duty stations or whatnot. Finally, my husband sent me to Roots Tech he's like, go find your people. And I ran into you at the WikiTree booth, and oh my gosh, I'm so glad you didn't think I was crazy because I got so excited when I found out you were a fellow military spouse, just because there aren't a lot of us, at least you're the only one I ran into in the entire weekend at Roots Tech, and Roots Tech is not small. So maybe there were other ones there. Well, your friend was there too, but like there's
Oh
really not
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
Her husband's in it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess it's a little hard to get away sometimes, and it tends to be an older crowd, I guess, for genealogy. But there are plenty of people under 50 or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I didn't run into many military people. So yeah, it was very nice to meet you there.
Yeah, I then when you I've been familiar with WikiTree for a while. I don't use it as much as some other ones, but you guys, and just in conversations, you've shared so much with me in it that I didn't know was there. Because I first looked into WikiTree when it first launched ages ago.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a lot different now.
Yeah, and I hadn't gone back because it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. Oh my word, you guys have added so much. But it's okay. First of all, family history is not for old people.
Oh
It
yeah,
is
it's for
great.
everybody. It's for my kids, it's for my 92-year-old grandma, it's for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and then like as a homeschooling and military family, we get to live in lots of different places, and you're teaching your kids about different stuff. Being able to do with that has got to be an awesome option.
Yeah, and now that we haven't been traveling so much lately, and now that they're older, I'd like to revisit some of the places that we've been, especially on the East Coast and stuff. But I'll have to take them back and see our American Revolutionary Patriot and all that kind of thing. But usually I stick to closer relatives. I'm kind of sticking to post 1820 is easier to research. I do some hard stuff sometimes, but uh, especially when my brain's running on all cylinders, trying to keep the kids in order. It's nice to keep things simple.
Yeah, the more recent stuff is easier just because there is a lot more resources, and then a bunch of military resources were lost in a fire. So anyone who's looking for some things, they just may not exist anymore, be harder to find.
Yeah,
But
I need to.
I love that you're sharing that with
Yeah,
your kids. Has
yeah.
there been any specific thing that your kids have latched on and really enjoyed?
Not really. I would just say that they like the finding aspect when we've been to different graveyards. Like I tell them, okay, we're looking for these three people. Y'all go out and find them. So it's
Oh, yeah.
like a little more like a treasure hunt. Um,
Yeah,
but I'll get them a
hide
little
and
more
seek.
into history as we go on. Yeah, but no, they definitely enjoy that.
That's fine. That's an awesome way to get them involved.
Yeah.
So, how did you get in? Sorry, my voice just gave out for a sec. How did you get involved with WikiTree? How did you find out about them?
Well, for WikiTree itself, probably a Google search. I honestly don't remember. For family history in general, my great aunt started taking me to cemeteries when I was little, along with my mom. That was one side of the family. On the other side of the family, it's my grandma, who I still have. And we went to Louisiana and Mississippi, photographed gravestones for some of her relatives who were born around 1880 ish. So I started doing that when I was like 10. And then I started recording the information myself. Um, oh, I guess I'll be saying how old I am, whatever. Um, I started in seriously maybe about 10 years ago. So I've used some of the information that my great aunt had compiled, and then I've found more sources added on to it. So I've been working with WikiTree platform for maybe about 8 years more seriously. But it
Okay.
doesn't have its own record sets. You like pull the records from other sources, whether it's Family Search, Ancestry, your local newspaper, whatever. Um, but then you connect them to your family members, and everyone's connected to each other, or at least most people are connected to each other on WikiTree.
Okay. So some people are going to be a little bit more novice with family history and may never even heard of WikiTree. I know you've put together some resources and stuff to kind of walk through what different things WikiTree has nowadays, because it has changed since I first was introduced to it, and how it can be used and how you use it and different things like that.
Okay, so
All
this is
right.
my maternal grandfather's profile, and oh, I'll just click on the picture just for fun. That's at their wedding. Some people say I look
Aw,
like her. I don't
I
know.
think you do. I think you
So I'm just clicking on the ancestors tab so you can see um, who all I have got for him. You see, I've got some brick walls there. If I worked really hard at it, I'm sure I could get past them, but I've just been focused on near the near folks for now. The one I'm most interested in is this James P. Scoggins guy. I went out to his grave in it says okay, he died in Garland, but he's buried in Rockwall. It's just a few miles away. Anyway, I actually got his Civil War pension because I was hoping it might name his parents. It didn't. I do know his mother, but I have not been able to find who gave them the Scoggins name. Um, anyway, so you can
really
add all
unique
kinds
last
on
name.
here. Kind of. Scoggins and Scroggins with an R in it. It's all kind of interchangeable back before, say, 1850, 40, something like that, before people wrote. Um, okay, I don't know where I'm going now. I just wanted to show, okay, added
No,
sentences.
that's a lot of
Yeah,
different
that's just
things.
a general
Okay,
idea. Yeah.
so
Oh,
did you kind of create this then, this whole wiki page?
yes. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's preset. Like, let me find one I haven't done much on. So I could go in and write who his parents were and whose children were and all that kind of thing. So that's just a super basic one. The other one I really worked on. You can add all kinds of stickers just showing off where they were from, what they were interested in. And I don't have any military stickers for him. Okay, just as an example
But
for
that's cool to see. So you go in and you can add pictures, you can add biography, all of these different facts, and that helps you keep organized so that you know where you're at and what you're still looking for with that person. Because I know
exactly.
sometimes family history gets just there's too many people and too many names, and keeping it in your head ain't gonna happen.
Oh, yes, I wrote notes back in 2023. I'll post the most pertinent pages of the 79-page document. Okay, I've only posted one. I'm not going to post 79. I need to post, oh, maybe about four more. But anyway, you can upload images. I don't know what the size limit is. There's some size limit, so it doesn't overwhelm the systems. But and the whole site is free. It's free because it's run by people who are just stopping by the website, see ads, and occasionally click on the ads, and then the website is paid for. But if you're logged in, like I am, you don't see any ads. Oh, here's another one. Oh, I took a few photographs at this cemetery. Well, anyway, I wanted to show what an example for military stickers. I haven't worked on this at all. This is someone else's free space page. If you take an interest in a particular historical topic, whatever, you can make a web page for it, basically. So this guy is working on an event in Romania in World War II. And I just wanted to pull up a profile so that you can see like all the different items you can add to a page to kind of
Oh,
make
like
your
his Purple
ancestors stand
Heart and
out.
all of
Yeah.
that.
So this particular researcher has been working on everybody in that unit, but hasn't yet added all the parents and everything. But I could go in right now, add his dad, Stanley Gentry, using the birth record. So there's no, oh, he added his mother. Okay. But
That's
anybody could
so
go in and add.
cool.
So,
So it's possible if you're struggling to find military family history or something, it's possible someone already has put together a page that's got information about your family if they happen to be
yeah.
passionate about that subject.
Uh huh.
That
Yeah.
is so cool.
And so there are all these different, what all categories I'll click on. Oh, you can also see how you're related to people in these different categories. There's a chance oh, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so who am I related to at Baltimore National Cemetery? My connections. Okay, 21. Okay, so
Oh.
that's pretty. No one here is closely related to me, but still, it's cool.
No, but they're still
Oh,
related, and if you're going to that cemetery anyway, and you're doing,
oh,
like,
yeah,
you're talking with your kids about or, history, like, world US history or whatever, you could look that up, find something that fits what you're talking and, like, go show them, "Hey, we're
yeah,
related to this person."
exactly.
That's so cool.
And
Sorry,
they're
I'm
always
nerding out a little
oh,
bit.
no. Yeah, and if you don't have I know a lot of people use WikiTree without even making an account, but you should totally make an account, and then we can see
I
how we're
really have got
connected.
to.
Um, and then you can see DNA connections. So but this is the only website I'm aware of that will let you see all these different connections, like the one I was last on, this Nancy Jane Swafford. Um, I don't think there's any other website that'll show you all these. Um, so I know I was trying to show you last time, like for example, you can click compare on GEDmatch. If I enter my number on GEDmatch, which is a free DNA connection website,
Mhm.
then I can go to, won't do it now, the privacy, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I've used GEDmatch before, and so if you get your DNA done through um, Ancestry or one of those other organizations, then you can upload your DNA profile to or DNA information to GEDmatch, and they'll give you that number and it'll help you do different things. But then you can also add it into websites like this, which will help you find other DNA connections that may not be on Ancestry or oh, the other one is I think the other major one would just is going out of business. But anyway,
oh
Ancestry is still one of the big ones.
yeah.
So
And WikiTree doesn't store any of the DNA information. It's just the fact that you took the test. So
yeah.
then it propagates the ancestors. Um, so I work on my own family. I would do some work on the U.S. Black Heritage Project. Um, some of my ancestors were slave owners, and I would like to try to connect them to the big tree, to the wiki tree, whether we're blood related or not. I try to find out their names and their families, and so it's
So
the federal line.
helping the descendants of slaves find their ancestors so they can do their own family history.
Exactly. It
That's a
obviously
really awesome.
I may only be able to offer the smallest bit of help, but anything I can do is much better than nothing.
And you said you're also working on a Holocaust project?
Yes. Oh, I just wanted to show this real quick because one of the unique things about WikiTree is you can have these separate web pages to talk about whatever you'd like. In this instance, it's connecting, listing all the different slaves for this person, trying to figure out who they were in the slave schedule. Anyway, um,
That's
oh, I
But
have
that's
more.
a laudable thing because with DNA, they can break through certain barriers and find stuff. But we're with AI, with all that's online, we're getting the ability to analyze more and more of these documents that exist at a
Right.
faster rate than ever before. But being able to put it into a place where it's clear and easy to understand, like WikiTree, is huge.
Yeah. So you can see if there's a particular county you're interested in, you can check that out.
So you're working on the African American Project, the
Mhm.
Holocaust Project, and those are your two main ones?
Yes. When I'm not working on my own family. Um, okay, we're also working particularly on trying to find and name and connect to family all the victims at Auschwitz. Um, it's a bit of a challenge, more than I imagined, actually, but we're getting there. Um, and we have all kinds of folks helping us, people who are in Europe, like, oh gosh, like a dozen different countries in Europe, people who are in the US who don't know any of the languages but are either learning a little bit, or we use Yad Vashem a lot, which has everything in English as well. Um, anyway, yeah, so lots of projects.
So
But yeah, we can
that's
always use help with any of this. Nothing requires particular expertise. Everything can be learned. So, anyway,
I
what else
think
did I see
sometimes
here? Oh, go ahead.
we get it inside our head that you have to be an expert or we have to find an expert or whatever. Military spouses, we've got a unique opportunity to be in lots of different places. Like you've said that you've used your travels to go to these locations and do these things. We've I've realized every place we've ever been stationed, I've been able to find an ancestor.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly
I could do a whole
no,
class on WikiTree. Like, I'll try. I know some of your listeners might be really interested and some might not be. So,
no, it's okay. I really love that you found something you're passionate about because military life is crazy and we move around a lot. And finding those things that make it exciting and an adventure instead of drudgery is huge. And so, how has doing family history and working on these projects with WikiTree blessed you and helped you as a military spouse?
it's helped me so much because I've been able to take it with me wherever I go. I have real friends that I've met through this website, and I've met a few in person, like at Roots Tech, and others I just chat with online. So, between having a hobby that's portable and a real community that's with me and interested in the same things I'm interested in, and always helpful and giving, like it's been like a rock I can take with me. I can't think of the right phrase, but I've lived in so many different places recently. I just finally settled down where we're staying, I think. Um, but I can look back and I've had all these friends for the last few years and they're still there, even though I've been moving around. So anyway, and my husband has friends through the military. He makes more friends than I do since he's the person going to work for that. But wherever we go visit, whether it's for a family wedding or other military stuff, like it's the same with you and any of your listeners, I'm sure. Like you end up with friends all over the globe. So I kind of have that with my WikiTree family and my husband with his military family. So always a treasure hunt, no matter what city you end up in. So yeah, I got to take my
Yeah,
kids to DC. They've never been. So
honestly, we didn't plan enough time. If I can give you any pointer,
oh,
plan a
sure.
week or more. Plan a week or more
Okay.
because we planned 4 days and that wasn't enough.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. I think that my parents will be able to go with us when we go this year or next year. So that'll help a lot. Wrangling all the kids and yeah, a week or more. I think we can do that.
Are you going to try to visit the archives too, National
Ah,
Archives?
we have to tack a whole nother week on for that. The answer is maybe. I would love to because I've ordered several Civil War pensions for my own family, Union and Confederate, and I've also gotten a couple USCT, U.S. Colored Troop pensions. WikiTree helped do a special magazine feature in the Smithsonian. Drew Gardner was one of their photographers, and um, he photographed Civil War soldiers, or he did other features too, but in this case, it was USCT Civil War soldiers and their descendants. So we helped find their descendants, and they were photographed. And for a few of them, I was just so interested. I had to know. We were just at dead ends. I had to know more about their families. So I went on and got like 2 or 3 pensions. Anyway, point being, if you go
That's
to the
so
National
cool, though.
Archives yourself, you can go pull those yourself. But I wasn't going to DC, so I hired someone. Um, but yeah, it's really neat. So now I got to give those, since I ordered them and got all the PDFs, whatever, I got to give those to the USCT descendant families. And then I have mine for my folks. So anyway, that's you never know what you're
That's
going to
so
find in
cool.
those. It's like just a gold mine. You never know if you're going
Oh,
to get a little
yeah.
nugget or a big nugget of gold, but it's worth a shot.
No, that's true. That's really cool. And it's very sweet that you were able to work on that project and then you passed those records on to those families. That probably means a lot to them. I doubt did they even know that they had a
Some
ancestor?
did. Yeah, some did and some didn't. It kind of depended. One of the people in particular was pretty famous, so his descendants did know. But then other people, it was just out of the blue, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll go be photographed for the Smithsonian." Like, and Drew Gardner would try to find a good match, like as far as the person vaguely looked like their ancestor. And in a couple of cases, the resemblance was weird, like remarkably exact, 1 or 2 cases. But anyway, it was a really neat project. That was about 3 years ago.
Oh, that'll be fun. So is that something you can show your kids when you get there, or is that gone now?
Oh no, no, I can show them. I don't know that. I think I'll maybe wait 1 more year, then they might be more interested. I don't think they
Yeah,
really get it. Um,
different ages, different
yeah,
interests.
yeah. They're still more
You
go find the names on the headstone thing, something more concrete. So
I just want to say how grateful I am again to Elaine Martens for coming on the podcast and talking to us about WikiTree and everything she has learned and experienced with that organization and how it has helped her as a military spouse. Also, if you would like to see the video of our recorded conversation and our full conversation, it's about 30 minutes ish, it will be available on YouTube. So please feel free to go check that out. Additionally, I will have a link to WikiTree's website in the description for this podcast below. Again, I'd like to thank all of the listeners of this podcast for your support. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click it so we can stick it to the algorithm because the more that you do those things, it will help get this podcast and the information out to as many people as possible. The goal I have is to build a community where we can encourage and uplift each other, whether we are military spouses, part of the veteran community, or just anyone who is interested in what the military community is up to. So please remember to do that. It makes a big difference in my ability to reach people and share what we're up to and what we're doing. That said, also, I want to throw out if you know any veterans or military spouses, anyone who is associated with the military community who would like to be on the podcast and share what they're doing, I would love to hear from them. So please reach out, contact me, and let me know what you are all up to. And as always, let's be the good that we want to see in the world. I'm your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife.